Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Bud is out, Magnum is back in, and we're still keep doing stuff. All right, so this time around, we've got a leaky wheel seal on the other side. About 2 or 3 years ago, went through and changed everything on the other side, and now it's this side. So we're gonna go ahead and pull things apart, start digging in. Wheel seals most likely definitely gonna be replaced. There's a couple shims and bushings, and then possibly a shaft as well that was bad on the other side when we did it. So that might be done on this side, so we'll find out as we dig into it. But great time to do this right now. Tractor's already in the shop. We've got the Milwaukee, so let's get working. Look what I found.
I ain't gonna worry about cleaning this thing out. We're putting new oil in it anyways, so let's pull the rag out of it so it doesn't get too soaked, right? And throw it in the trash. Okay, now, oh, he's already got a chisel and a hammer. Let's take that hub off. So we'll let this thing drain a little bit, kind of get some of the oil out, and then I'll pull it off, set it on the ground, and then we'll do some inspecting. We'll still have to pull apart a couple other things in there to make sure that we can get at the shaft that's in there and look at that bushing that's also in there and see if the bushing and the shaft have a lot of play in it, which the bushing by rights should be kind of wore out if it's the original one.
It looked all chewed up. This is bubbles.
So by rights, I think we're able to just grab the shaft and just pull it right out. And it is right. Okay, I'm gonna clean this up and inspect it and see if it's wore down. Ugh. Now, just cleaning it up in the solvent tank, I did notice there was a little tiny groove, a little bit of a wear pattern. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna chuck it up in the lathe, and then I'm going to see if it's got like flat spots on it. Well, you'll see what I'm doing. You know, it's a little bit, but not much.
Here's our culprit. This is the seal right here. That's what's leaking. Reason why it's leaking, number of reasons, which Leg-Arms is working on. Bearing's still in here. I mean, it feels good from turning it, but until we pull the seal out and get the bearing out, I won't fully be able to know. So let's pull that seal out. I didn't do that. Pretty sure it came like that. Yeah, definitely not an air chisel. So I'm looking for any kind of pits, scratches, grooves, corrosion. I think that bearing feels pretty good. And the race, Looks really good too. So, good.
Basically brand new. Good deal. That's good news to find out. Now the next step is he's inspecting the bearing and pulled the seal off.
It's good. I'm done.
Okay.
See you guys tomorrow.
Anyways, let's pull that whole hub assembly doohickey thingy off.
Yeah.
And then we can take out that bushing.
Lots of poopy diapers at home. I'll stay in the shop. I think something moved a little bit. Oh yeah, it's loose. Oh wow.
Oh, sweet.
It's not like the other one.
That's a good sign. Last time when we pulled them off, it was a challenge to try to break those things loose. It was just seized in there. Oh, he's moving it. Okay, we should be able to pull those out. We have to disconnect the linkage for the stabilizing arm for the steering, because that's the one that connects the other side to this side. Good deal. Well, I'd leave it in just partially so that way we can pull that bottom one out.
See, it's that bottom one that holds it. Let's take the shim out for now.
You can put it here, I'll take the shim. He's gonna leave the top one in just barely, so that way we can work on the bottom one, because the bottom one's a little bit more stiff. And it should come out fairly easily, hopefully.
That's the top. Let's put the top up here.
You can just set it up on top there, because that's where I've got the... Do you need help? Nope. That seal just popped right out.
Yeah.
It could have been part. No, it wasn't the culprit because it wasn't oily in there.
Doesn't look bad. There's no speedy sleeves, so this is the first time.
Sweet, that's off. And I'm gonna go sit on the computer and start figuring out what kind of parts we need. Yep. Make sure we order the right parts for it. Good deal. I'm gonna wash my hands first though.
There's somewhere to get one of these. Hey guys, welcome back. So, waiting on parts for the Magnum, put that together. And we brought another project in the shop. Remember this thing? Yeah, the grain cleaner that we kind of put together and put some wheels on, and well, it's worked great for our peas, and we're gonna be using it definitely in the future, probably sooner than you think. But we're gonna put it on something a little different than this little dinky wheel setup we've got here. Liger Arms tracked down this trailer. It was an old header trailer, or custom header trailer built for someone somewhere, and it's solid and it's heavy and it's long. And
To have, this thing would haul 2 headers on it. I don't know what the length were, but the guy bought it to haul his, and it wasn't quite fitting out or working for him, so I found it.
so we got another one. So, nice double axle, big heavy frame. We're gonna put that cleaner on this. We're gonna shorten the frame probably a little bit, and then if down the road we get another cleaner, we might have enough room to put one on the front and then have that on the back, and that way we'll be able to do multiple cleaning jobs for cleaning our seed, because yes, unlike corn and soybeans and canola and some of these other crops out there, we can clean some of our own seed for peas, lentils, chickpeas, wheat. Some of that we can actually clean ourselves and reseed, which is fortunate. They're trying to get rid of that because they don't like us being able to do that because, well, you know, they don't make money and we save money. But that's the life of a farmer. We're always complaining. Anyways, so we're gonna sit here and scratch our heads and move tape measures back and forth and scratch our heads and sit on chairs like this until we know what we're gonna do. Okay, when we thought about it, I think we're gonna go ahead and just strip everything down off this trailer. So he's getting started on that right now. Then we're probably gonna cut the end off, shorten this front up quite a bit, pull the tongue end down. We'll just make a nice, short, strong trailer for that unit. We're also gonna possibly build an air separation unit that's gonna go on here too. Haven't fully decided how we're gonna do that yet. It might take a second auger, so that's kind of in the works. Dad's working on that one. He's got an old furnace fan he's gonna use, so that'll be cool. But first things first, we need to get that on that trailer. Let's get to it. All right, now we've got all that extra iron off. We're gonna start trimming up a couple tabs and pieces that are sticking up above here. Get it where we figured we want it. And then I think we're gonna use the car lift, hopefully if it works. Lift the cleaner, back the trailer up, drop it on top. All right, let's try to lift it. I could definitely can lift it. It's just, yeah, it might be a little awkward. We'll see what happens.
Looks good on my side.
We sent Dad up to go get some parts. A couple things we needed to be able to do this, but we've got a pretty good idea where we're gonna go from now. Did fire this up just without any outrigging or anything blocked up in it. Shakes this trailer pretty hard, which makes sense because this cleaner does an orbital rotation. It's not like your typical screen or sieve or scalper that just goes forward and back. This one does a circular, which is good. It works great that way. It's just the problem is it needs to be pretty solid on the ground because that motion will shake anything that's sitting on that has any type of give or move. So we're gonna have some nice outriggers, you could call them. Dad went to go get some jacks. He's coming back, and we're gonna chop this frame a little shorter. And then when they start building their cleaner with the air screen, it's gonna be similar to a lot of designs you guys have probably seen out there, but it's gonna be really basic. We're kind of copying some ideas, but it's not, we're not building it to separate crops. We're doing it to just remove the light material and possibly oats and the peas. The whole point of this whole rig setup here is just to clean yellow peas because we have to clean about 6,000 bushels a year. And at over $1 a bushel to clean these days, you're looking at $6,000 to $10,000 a year saved by doing it ourselves. So that's what we're doing. So we got a little bit to do, but when Leg Arms gets back here, we're gonna chop this frame, shorten it up, and then Dad gets back from his trip with some iron and some different pieces. We'll start building the air cleaner, that'll go on the front, that'll then have an auger that then takes it up into the scalper, which is right here, and then it'll come out the back right here, and here's some old canola actually from cleaning that canola earlier this year. And then from here, it'll go for an auger or a conveyor or whatever you have to take it to your grain bin. Make sense? So, good. Oh, and then this auger will no longer feed the scalper. It'll actually feed the air cleaner up here, then it'll go down with another 6-inch auger that'll take it up into the scalper. So we'll get to it. Getting ideas, slowly coming together.
Now Nick's cutting out that center section. When we put this together, we're gonna have to have a tape measure from the very center of the point right here of where the ball goes, and we're gonna V it. You'll measure to one side of the axle and to the other side of the axle. Because if you don't get that tongue perfectly straight, what's gonna happen as you pull it, it's gonna pull that trailer sideways and you're gonna wear the tire. So we'll put it together, we'll plate it, and then we'll plate one side, measure the other side, get it squared up, and we might have to trim some. But yeah, coming together.
So I went ahead and took the floor jack, big chunk of some square tubing, put underneath, jacked it up until it got tight across the whole bottom here. Put the level on it, looked good. So he's tacking that side up, kind of getting it just tight for the most part, not welded fully. And then we'll get the other side squared up. And then of course we're measuring from the hitch to the first axle to make sure that it's the same distance on either side. So that way it's not, you know, gonna walk as it goes down the road. It'll be straight and true. And then when that's done, we wait on Dad for him to come with the parts. So we can start building all this stuff. It's gonna be farmer redneck for sure. But we'll try to make it look good while we can. Is it functional? We'll know later. But for now, let's keep playing in the shop.
Okay, the front half is actually bolted to, or not, hot glue gunned to the back of this one, so this is all one piece. Now what we have to do is we gotta plate it. Now here's one thing we could have done, and if you were doing like a semi or something else, you don't ever put a seam vertical. You'll cut the channel at an angle, and then the other channel will be at an angle, and they'll put together and then they'll plate it. And that actually gives you a lot more strength. Now here's the thing, this trailer, all the main weight is on the back, and they actually, which is kind of funny, they just did straight cuts and welded them and plated them, and it was fine there. So we went ahead to make it easier, make our lives easier. We cut a straight one, we'll plate it, we'll weld it up really good. It's not gonna bend, it's not gonna twist, it's not gonna go anywhere. And if it does, well then I was wrong. But anyways, just wanted to let you guys know that is our decision. We made it and it is together. So let's find some steel that we can plate this thing, because it's not strong enough with just a straight weld like that. There we have it. It's welded together. It's not coming apart. So the trailer originally was about 31 feet long, roughly. The middle section that we pulled off right here, this square box, we're gonna cut it up. That was about 6 feet long is what we took out. And then the tail end of the trailer right here is about 5 feet long. So we took out 11 feet. So this trailer is about a 20-foot trailer. And of course, I didn't add on this little extension here, so it's actually probably closer to 22 feet long if you add that little, you know, nose, what do you want to call it, the tray that comes out the back. But that shortened it up quite a bit, and it's easier to maneuver, easier to store in buildings. It's still fairly long, but it is making progress. Looking good.
So we did some test runs the other day. We quickly tacked them on to the frame, those jacks. I just ran the unit to see how much it shook. First it was bad until we realized the whole frame was flexing throughout the entire length. blocked up the front a little more. We're gonna put the other jacks, and it's smoothed right out. So he's putting the jacks on, but he's actually angling the jacks. We're gonna have all the jacks at a slight angle out, so that way they push against each other when it lifts this whole unit up, and that'll take a lot of the shake out of them. It'll keep them secure. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the plasma cutter and slice around the bottom of the jack stand, make a gap, then I'll crank it down. What it'll do is it'll make this foot, the pad, and it'll, because right now it's at an angle, it'll tip it and make it level with the ground, and then we'll weld it up. I'll do that with all four. So he's working on fabricating that corner. I'll get that one ready for him to weld, and it's just gonna be a slow process going around the whole thing. And then that'll all be done secure, and we can jack this whole unit up off the ground, and it'll take the shake out of it, and you can change the level depending on the type of ground you're on, because wherever's grain you're at, or yard, or wherever, the level of the ground isn't always true. You gotta match it, but it'll be working out really good. While Leg Arms is continuing to build the stands on the cleaner, one thing he's wanted, which makes perfect sense, is we need a gate on the bottom of this auger to regulate the flow into the whole cleaner from the beginning. That way you can just stick it in a pile of grain in a hopper bottom, or in a bin, or whatever it is, and open and close the gate as needed, and that'll regulate the whole flow from the very beginning through the whole cleaner, versus trying to regulate the gate on a truck or somehow limit the flow into that, because we can't change the speed. They're not variable rate motors, or variable frequency drives, because they're single phase, not three phase on the motors. So I found this old 7-inch auger, and it's got an old slider on it. This was a piece we took out of an auger we salvaged for whatever reason, used for something else, because we're always doing that. And I think that'll work really great down there. So I'm gonna chop it up while he's doing that, make some brackets welded on there, and that way we can have a lever I can pull and open and close the gate on the bottom of the auger. We'll see if it works. Do it.
All right, let's turn this thing on.
Not bad. It shakes a little bit, but no worse than it was when we had it on those blocks earlier. I think that'll work.